Hello everybody. How are you doing today? And welcome back to another episode of my coffee break conversations. And yes, I'm having coffee today, guys. Of course I am. It's been a little bit. And cheers to you all out there. I can't believe we've got, a week left until Thanksgiving. It's gone crazy, right? Well, anyway, I'm going to just get down to the point because I think this video is going to be very good, especially for this time of year, how to deal with obstacles in your life. And we all know, we always get obstacles in our life. I don't care how much you plan. I don't care how much you do all the strategic work and have an action plan and you have everything on paper and you have it down to the actual task that you need to do on a daily basis. You still will have obstacles coming up into your life. And why? That is because it's life, right? We have to expect obstacles. And what I have learned over the years of doing things is we all know that textbook perfect plan, right? you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you have it on paper, you have it written down, everything is just so perfect, and you don't plan for obstacles. We don't really plan for getting sidetracked, and we don't really plan for having to move a different direction because something's changed or maybe something broke. And that's kind of what we've experienced. Like as I'm doing these videos, you know, I have my action plan in place. I have what I want to talk about, everything down, my bullet points. I have everything I want to talk about, but sometimes electronics don't work, right? And you literally just want to like yank your hair out in all directions. And we've had those problems so many times in the last couple of months. So I apologize, guys, for any videos that have been off course. I know I've been having obstacles, so I thought this would be a perfect subject to talk about because we all get them, and sometimes they happen once in a while, sometimes they happen in threes. I know for us it's more of happened in like 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 times we expect something to happen. So one of the things that I want to really talk about is facing obstacles. A lot of people, when we're not ready for something to happen and we plan for something and we expect it to go perfectly and then it doesn't, we're really not, maybe we don't have a plan in place, maybe we don't have an exit strategy, or we don't have something in place for when plan A fails, go to plan B, okay? And I have always been this type of person that when you plan for something, you have an action plan A and you have a plan C, and sometimes you need a plan B, and sometimes you need a plan C. A, B, C, D, all the alphabet, right? There's been people out there that will teach you only have to have a plan A. Don't plan for anything else. But what I found is, what if plan A doesn't work out? Bam, obstacle. What are you going to do? You don't have another plan to go off of. You don't have another exit strategy or something to go off of to get you past that obstacle. And if you don't plan for these things, you're going to find yourself stressed. You're going to find yourself wanting to yank your hair out, like I said. And it's just going to cause a lot of excess problems for you. When you're facing an obstacle, you kind of got to put it in a perspective of more of a positive perspective. I know it goes against those people out there who say look for everything positive. I know it goes against all that, but you got to plan sometimes for a worst case scenario. And I have learned this countless times, guys. And I'm not saying that we're purposely trying to say that something negative will happen. I'm not saying that you don't be positive about it.
Expect the best, plan for the worst.
Right, that's a good one. Like, I don't know if you guys, if you're a Fast and Furious fan, you will definitely get this. If you're not, you may not understand it. But Fast and Furious, he says, how does he say that about, I need a plan A, plan B, there's not enough letters in the alphabet. And then Dom says, hey, we do what we do best. We improvise. And that's what we need to learn to do, is improvise when we hit obstacles. And we will. Having a positive mindset's a really awesome thing. But you also got to look at life realistically and realize that crap happens. And how are you going to deal with it when it does happen? Are you going to react? And that's, I think, one of the worst things that we do is we end up reacting to an obstacle versus trying to find a solution and trying to work through that obstacle. We'll react first, plan later. Okay? I think we need to plan first and try not to react to it so badly, because if you react to it really bad and you're like, oh, I knew this was going to happen again, you know, and then what's it going to do? It's going to get you all riled up. You're going to get really agitated, and your plans are just not going to happen because you're going to be too caught up in the emotion. You're going to be too caught up in the aggravation, and you're not going to see a solution to your current obstacle that you're facing. So that's what I mean. We really got to plan for things. And I'm not saying you have to have everything detailed out on a perfect sheet of paper, textbook perfect, right? We just have something in place where we know we hit an obstacle, we can take another direction or choose another option, and then we're still going to be okay, all right? Another thing that I have found personally, and you can't maybe do this all the time, but you want to strive, is distance yourself from the drama. And I know, guys, I know, it's easier said than done. Sometimes we cannot distance ourselves from the drama, and sometimes we get kind of caught up in that little circle of drama, whether it be within ourselves, whether it be with someone else, whether it be with electronics. You know, we get caught up in electronic drama. You gotta figure out for yourself how you're gonna distance yourself. And what I mean by distancing yourself, I'm not saying that you block it out and you ignore it and you just pretend that it's not there, because for number one, that ain't gonna work. That definitely will not work. Okay, you can't just block out something that's there. What I mean by distance yourself is find a way for your mind to get distracted from it temporarily, so you can have time to sit there and think through your obstacle. Think through, how are you going to get through this? What are you going to do? What action plans are you going to take? That way, if you plan like that, you don't get caught up in all that emotional drama. Like, for instance, with me, okay, I know with us, family drama that's happened, like a couple weeks back, I mentioned to you guys that we had some family members in the emergency room, and there was a lot of family drama going on. There was a lot of things that were really at stake. There was actually a person's life at stake at that moment. And so getting caught up in that drama was kind of not, you know, there was really, we had to kind of face that, and we had to kind of go through that. But you can't distance yourself as far as like, okay, someone's in the ER and that's a family drama, it's really getting you a lot of stress. Sometimes you can't distance yourself from that because it is a medical emergency. That is very different. But what I'm talking about is if you are trying really hard, whatever it is, doing your business, going about your personal life, and you get caught up in other people's drama and other people's dramatic things, and you get emotionally invested in that, you're going to hit the obstacles one right after another. And the thing that I found is sometimes those obstacles are not even yours. Sometimes those obstacles are somebody else's, but you're taking those things on like a cuddly little blanket, right? You're saying, oh, come here, I will hold you. Okay, you're taking it on for yourself when it's not even yours in the first place. That will create obstacles for you automatically. That's not necessary. And I know I have done this too, guys. I have definitely done this many times. You would think I would learn, right? I have to really catch myself when I do these things. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because my throat's getting dry. But yeah, you have to consciously think of how you are reacting or how you are being when you're going through an obstacle or you have drama that's maybe not yours and you're taking it on. So you've got to really think about that. And a good thing to do is kind of step back in perspective and go, is this really mine? Is this drama right now that I'm carrying that's creating obstacles for me, is this mine? Is this something that's happening to me personally? Or is it something that's happening on an outward scale to somebody else and you're making it yours? So you really got to look at that. And I find, like I said, guys, I have found myself doing that a lot of times. And I have to give myself sort of a mental check and go, okay, wait, Donna, I'm doing this thing again. Wait a minute, this is not mine. This is that person's. I'm creating my own obstacle here. Okay, so that's one thing to be very mindful of. Another thing would probably be gaining your perspective. And this ties in so well with obstacles, because sometimes, you know, when you have an obstacle or a challenge facing you and you're dead on in it, right? Sometimes we get stuck. We don't really know how to move forward. And we sit there and we kind of get this in our mindset. We kind of get all these things going in our mind, and we get the what ifs, and then we start getting stressed. And we don't give ourselves a chance to stop, breathe, take a moment, be quiet, go do some yoga, go do some meditation. Get yourself away from it for a little bit. Like if you're facing an obstacle and you're not coming up with any answers to fix it, or a solution to help maybe move yourself through it, and you're coming up with nothing, that is a good indication that you need to step back, look at take some time, take a few hours, take a day if you have to, take a couple of days if you have to. I know there's been times I've had to take a week one time to get through something and to think through it. Take whatever time you need to gain your perspective and figure out maybe another option. Because what I have found is when we're stressed and when we're really uptight and we're emotionally invested in something, our minds will temporarily block things. Our minds will block us. And when we're trying to come up with creative solutions, like for our businesses, maybe for our personal life, it's not there because our mind is so focused on the obstacle and so focused on everything and all the stress that we're stopping ourselves. So if you take some time to, like I said, step back, ask yourself, what can I do to maybe help this? Is there anybody else that can help me, that I can bring into my circle, that maybe can help me through this obstacle? And then stop for a little bit. Just go do something else. Go out, take a walk, whatever you're going to do. Let your mind think. And this is what a lot of people don't do, is we get caught up so much in trying to fix it, right? And I don't know about you guys, but for us women, especially that have that masculine energy, as I was talking about before, and I will post down in I think I've talked about this before. I will find the video for that, and I'll put the link in this video down below. Is about feminine and masculine energies. If we're one of those people that have that masculine energy, you know, let's just get it done, let's get it solved. I want to solve the problem. I want it now. It can be very difficult for us to sit back and try to gain our perspective, right? My best advice to you when you're coming upon trying to solve and get through an obstacle is shut your mind down. Try not, just let your body work through it. If you work and operate from an intuition and a soul perspective, and you drop out of your head for a little bit and try and get back into your own self, a lot of times what will happen is you will automatically find the answer to your challenge. And I've done this before. I'd been like a couple of days, I'd be so stressed out going, I can't think of anything. I can't think of this, right? I just don't have any answers. And then what I've done is like, okay, Donna, I'll sit there and go, okay, Donna, come on. Let's just drop it for a little bit, cool down, get out of my head, get into my intuition, get in with myself, and let that start to take hold, okay? And what'll happen is, like, a few days later or something, even in the middle of the night, I've actually woke up before in the middle of the night and had an answer to my question and had an answer to my obstacle of how to get around it. Bam, it just hit me like that, because I let my mind rest and I allowed myself that perspective. So that's a kind of another thing you can do once you're facing that obstacle and you just don't know what to do. One thing that I advise you on is sometimes we get burnt out, right? We have a lot of things happen in our lives. We get bogged down, we lose focus, and sometimes we feel like giving up. Especially when you get an obstacle and you get one right after another, right? I mean, they're coming at you. Life's just hitting you in the rear end every time, right? You feel like you're bent over and your butt's getting slapped every time, right? I mean, you know, at that moment in time, sometimes we get burnt out. We lose focus. And sometimes it causes us not to want to be committed anymore. Have you ever felt like that? I mean, have you literally ever felt like it's not worth it? You just want to throw in the towel, right? If you've ever felt that way, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And one of those things that I've discovered is, no matter what, guys, and this is speaking from my heart to you, whatever it is right now that you're going through, an obstacle, a challenge, an emergency, hardships, anything that you might be going through right now, a relationship problem, know this. Stay committed. Stay focused as much as you can. And never, ever give up, guys. I almost did that. And if you guys have followed me at any point in time on these videos, you know my story, that I had gotten down to a very low in my life where I felt like just throwing in the towel. I felt like giving up. I felt like I didn't even want this anymore. I just didn't even want to get out of bed. I really wanted to tell the world, screw it. Okay. But I didn't, because I knew deep inside me there was something more. I had a little flame still burning in me, still a desire for life, a desire to be loved, a desire to do what I wanted to do, a desire to be who I wanted to be. And that little tiny flame that was burning in me when I was at my worst, when I was way down in my low, the obstacles that kept hitting me on a daily basis, I got burnt out. I got sucked into drama that I didn't want. I got drama that I didn't invite. And because of all that inner turmoil, I lost faith. I was not committed anymore. I lost focus. But, like I said, there was still this little flame in me, guys. A little flame that was still there, deep in my soul. And I knew there was still hope. And there's still hope, guys, for you too. I don't care what obstacles you're going through right now, what challenges you might be facing. You can still be committed. You can still be able to stay focused. You can still be able to bring yourself out of that. I did. And yes, I'm still climbing out of stuff. There are still things that I have to face, and there are still things that I am working through right now. But I leveled up, and that flame in me got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Am I still facing obstacles? Oh, yeah. I mean, if we were not facing obstacles in our life, you really have to question what's going on. Okay? Obstacles sometimes are those very things that help you learn and grow. But you have to allow for it, right? You have to allow for them to help you grow and learn into the person you want to be. I wouldn't be talking here with you today, guys, if I allowed myself to be taken down by my obstacles. I wouldn't. You can ask anybody around my husband. They knew that I was down so far, but I did not give up. Even though I felt like throwing in a towel and I felt like giving up, I didn't give up. And that is one quality that each of us has inside of us. You never give up. Okay, so stay committed, stay focused, no matter what happens. Stay focused on what you want to do despite all the challenges that life gives you. Okay? That is actually my number one advice to you that I'm going to give you personally. The other thing, and I would think this would be the last thing here that I'm going to wrap up with, develop a growth mindset. Growth mindset. So you're probably thinking, what the heck does she mean by a growth mindset? There's two different types of mindsets that people have. There is a growth mindset, which is over here, and there is a fixed mindset. Now, a fixed mindset is somebody who thinks they can't do anything. They believe a certain way, they do things a certain way, and that's the only way that they see. They're fixed on one way of thinking, they're fixed on one way of doing something, and God forbid, if it's not in what they think it is, it's not right, it's wrong. And they just have this fixed mindset. Think of like a pair of glasses where you're just seeing this direction. You see straight forward and you see no other options. And they don't grow. They stay stagnant. They stay way back in the day, like they won't move forward in life, period. They won't look for new solutions and new ways of thinking. It's like refused, okay? And then you have a growth mindset. And I was actually, guys, I'll let you know, I was actually a major fixed mindset several years ago. And I had to slowly grow into that growth mindset. And a growth mindset is what you want to have when you're facing obstacles. And that is, you're open to new ideas. You're open to new ways of thinking. You opened your heart, you opened your mind, and you look for other solutions, other options and opportunity in your life to grow and learn. And it might be against what you learned. It might be against maybe a belief that you had way back when you were younger. It might go totally against that. But that is a growth mindset. You push past all those limiting beliefs and you find new, exciting ways to get the things you want in life. And I know I've had to work through this, guys. I've had a lot of limiting beliefs. In fact, I did an entire section in my book on limiting beliefs. And let me tell you, the word limiting is so real. It's beyond what I can, limiting beliefs, okay? It keeps you stuck. And I had to let go of some limiting beliefs. And every time I had a limiting belief, let me tell you, guys, obstacles after obstacle after obstacle, I kept hitting it. And I could never figure out why I couldn't find a solution and I couldn't move forward because I had a fixed mindset. So when you're facing those challenges in your life, you got to open your mind up to new things. Let go of some of those limiting beliefs that you have. Let go of what other people's opinions are holding you, hostage. Other people's opinions will keep you stuck too. Because they think this is wrong, or they think, oh, well, you're not doing this right, or, oh my gosh, that is not what I taught you. That kind of thing is going to keep you stuck. And I'm not saying we let go of everything that, our roots and everything like that. Just find those things in your life that maybe are keeping you stuck. And that's what's creating your obstacles. So be looking to have a growth mindset. That is really the big things on how to face obstacles in your life. This is stuff that I've experienced a lot of. And these are the things that have really helped me to kind of look in a different direction. Learn something new instead of a one-way track mind. So guys, I am going to close out with that. Did you have anything? Okay, I know I've been blabbing here the whole time, guys, and I probably didn't let Toby get into a word edgewise. But as you can tell, I'm really passionate about these kind of things because I want to teach you guys this stuff too and help you maybe see a different perspective, a different way of thinking in your life. To stop holding yourself back. Okay? Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to close for now. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself. And I will talk to you soon again. Bye-bye, everybody.